Welcome back, my psychic students. It's been a while since the last devlog, because, I kinda moved to an entirely new country and now have a full-time job teaching English. But now I'm back to give you various updates on the state of the game. First off, the environment art of the classroom got some significant touch-ups. I looked at some of the feedback I'd gotten on my environment art video and decided to make some improvements. I've added greater ranges of height, cracks on the walls, trash and dirt on the floor, hoof prints, changed the positions of some things, all that good stuff to make the place seem more lived in. And what delightful little darlings would have caused such a mess anyway? Ah, right, the characters. Peep these new animations. Yo! Whoa! Look! Judith's walking around the classroom! Whoa! Look! She's talking to a default Unreal NPC to test dialogue coding! Whoa! All coding progress, of course, handled by Caius Nelson. And, oh, look at this fancy new character model of Miss Nunatalk! Watch her spin! Now, originally she wasn't planned to appear in the demo, but since the scripting process began, I really wanted an opening scene featuring Judith getting told off by Nunatalk and the headmaster, in the headmaster's office. It's a good way to quickly establish her character's wily ways. So that means a character model for Nunatalk and eventually for the headmaster. Wait a minute, he looks different. Ah, I see, it's makeover season. I followed some character design tips from the awesome Nicholas Cole and tried to improve these lads' shape language and overall personality and appeal. The headmaster is more sharp and imposing, Lunchlord Seabrook is bigger and rounder, and Old Man Bagshaw is no longer staring into my soul. But this lovely new headmaster design needs a place to scold the young Judith, right? The infinite unreal void is no place to have a discussion. I used assets I made for the classroom to start blocking it out. I even made a fancy new trim sheet to use to decorate. My first time making one, actually. I love them now. What's a trim sheet? Ah, one of these bad boys. Basically, a texture sheet that you can use to quickly add detail or trims to your environment art. A lot of times, they'll loop horizontally so you can use them kinda like those fancy tapes for scrapbooking. Anyway, Huh? What was that? Hey, buddy! What are you? You're a book sprite? You love books? You live in the school and help the librarian tend to the tomes? You sly dog! All right, I'll put you in the demo. These are little sprite creatures who value collecting knowledge above much else. They have little wisdom and trust too easily. Their intelligence level is about that of a dolphin or parrot. In the wild, they are called crystal sprites and collect crystals and imbue them with their collective knowledge. They would seek out new experiences and new places to learn about, then put that experience into the crystal in order to share it with their flock. When they came into contact with Psyquines, they were immediately fascinated. They hung around the peoples and would follow them endlessly, so curious were they about this life form that was new to them. It is said that crystal sprites taught Psyquine how to better use crystals to store knowledge, while Psyquine taught sprites how to read. While they were never quite intelligent enough to write, they were able to draw lovely little pictures that became used to illustrate informational books. They can't draw something unless they've seen it, so they couldn't illustrate many fiction tales. So many sprites hung around and helped tend to libraries that they became known as book sprites before long. Many explorers and writers used book sprites as chirpy little companions. They would help explorers to scout ahead and check out small areas of caves. Only with sufficient encouragement, though. They hate dark places. They would also draw diagrams and detailed pictures and maps of what they had explored. There, that's enough lore for now. Or is it? Exposition is tough to get right, especially for stories set in a fantasy world with many new things to need to explain. The Onyx War is a huge deal in the story of Noiramore Academy, and I wanted to create a fun way to visualize its backstory for the audience. Within the demo, there will be a dialogue option that, when pressed, will get Judith to espouse upon said history to help her friend with a school report. First, I wrote the script, then laid out the animatics. I used Procreate to sketch the characters and Curve to make smooth vectors of them. Next, they were meticulously disassembled, torn limb from limb, so that I could make rigged character puppets out of them. I used some fun Blender techniques to make the shadow puppet effect. Afterwards, I rigged up each puppet model. Finally, they were all animated to the voiceover. The voiceover is not final, by the way. I plan to hire voice actors for the demo if it's financially possible. Please forgive my abominable impression of a 13-year-old British girl. If you want to see the full animation, it was uploaded separately. Link in bio. Oh, and hear that music in the background? That was commissioned from Jacob Ryman. It's going to serve as our devlog's main theme. Check him out on Insta. Speaking of music, my sister, Color Planet Crazy, recently finished the main theme of the game. Here, listen to a bit. I've uploaded the rest in a separate video. Link in bio. Did you like that title animation? That was commissioned from Pop Punk Game Time on Twitter. Wonderful work. Our first game, the Fantastic Kitty Rue, is on Steam. Also, make sure to check out Caius's game, Liberty Belle, on Steam. Peep my Etsy store! Rita Ragtime charms are available now. And of course, I would most appreciate it if you stopped by my Patreon page. Links to all of these things in the description. Thank you!